just somebody longing for someone to hold me. It could be anybody, but you chose me somehow. Now I'm waist deep, thinking about you all the time, like crazy, knowing you're here by my side. And I was doing fine on my own, but baby, you make me a whole lot better. A whole lot better. A whole lot better. A whole lot better. You've seen all my bad sides, yet nothing that I do seems to make you wanna run away. Oh, and I'm so thankful that you found me. Waist deep, thinking about you all the time, like crazy, knowing you're here by my side. And I was doing fine on my own, but baby, you make me a whole lot better. A whole lot better. A whole lot better. A whole lot better. Waist deep, thinking about you all the time, like crazy, knowing you're here by my side. And I was doing fine on my own, but baby, you make me a whole lot better. 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 La 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 la. To your massage.
You guys testing the slides? Morning, everyone. If you could please take your seats, we can get started with the session. Thank you. Could I get someone to close the doors, please? Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Chris. Okay, this is again Sunny from APNIC, and this session is all about global reports. So we have various international organizations or I-STAR organizations here to give an update on their activities, and the RARs probably going to be discussing about policies that discussed in their own region as well. We have a very full agenda. If you have any questions after each presentation, please quickly approach the microphone. We may take just one or two questions and then move on to the next speaker. So the first one is from ICANN, and Samiran Gupta from ICANN will give an update on ICANN activities. Samiran. This is the slide. You can see there as well. You can see there, the big one.
All right. Thank you, Sunny. So here we go. All right. So this update starts from September 2024 because I understand that you'd already heard what we did earlier at the previous meeting. So since then, we've had this slide actually has the key event highlights since then, and of course the upcoming events that we're involved in, and the following slides get into a little more detail. So since September, we've had the APAC space held at ICANN 81 in Istanbul, and we've had a bunch of local APIGA events. These include those in Nepal, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Australia. We have the ICANN 82 meeting coming up in Seattle, March 8 to 13, and during that meeting, we will also have an APEC Space session on March 11th. I would imagine many of you in the room would be on our mailing list, but if you're not and you'd like to attend that meeting, my colleague Athena is here. She can help you register or join. The other update upcoming is that we will be participating in the TWNIC Engagement Forum. We are there for day one, particularly that's the ICANN APAC TWNIC Engagement Forum on April 22nd. And then, of course, we've got 3 co-located events happening in Hanoi. More about that, but those in the following slides. But more, in terms of what they are, there's this Contracted Parties Summit, and there's the APAC DNS Forum and the Global UA Day. And of course, we have more local APIGA events scheduled across India, Taipei, and Hong Kong. On this slide, we've got information on all the technical training events we conducted. In September, we had a series of capacity building events in India. And again, INSIG, Youth, IGF, and GFC were all co-located in Bangalore. And then there was another event with ISOC Hyderabad, which was just before those 3 events. In October, we participated in the Global Encryption Day in Sri Lanka. In November, Champika led DNSSEC trainings for THNIC, was at the DNSSEC Forum in Malaysia, and then also led workshops on kindness at TWNIC Community Forum. In February, which is this month, he's held DNSSEC trainings in collaboration with ISOC Bangalore and Kindness DNSSEC training workshops at Apricot, which is where we are right now. And of course, in parallel, till last week, we had a training workshop happening with Geraldo visiting Hyderabad, and there were, I believe, 10 or 12 universities who are considering injecting universal acceptance into their IT programs in India, and Geraldo was doing the faculty development program related to the same. Now I'm getting into the upcoming events. So the TWNIC Engagement Forum, we are there on day 1, 22nd, which is 22nd April. In Taipei, the discussion topics are down there. I'm not going to read them out. And then, of course, we have the co-located events in Hanoi. 5th to 7th May is the Contracted Parties Summit. This summit, as you might be aware, is held in different parts of the world, every year. This time it's in the APAC region. It's 5th to 7th May. Most sessions of this summit will be open to non-contracted party audiences, except a few. And if you're planning to be there, so actually I shouldn't say if you're planning to be there, I'm inviting all of you to be there, not only for the first 2 days, but also stay back for the UA Day on 8th May, and also the APAC DNS Forum on 8th and 9th of May. A little more information on these 3 events. All of these events are taking place at the Intercontinental Hanoi Landmark 72 Hotel. I'm told the hotel actually starts from the 72nd floor. So, yes, exactly. Uh, Anyway, the Contracted Parties Summit provides contracted parties an opportunity to engage and address issues of mutual interest and importance. It is not a typical ICANN meeting, nor is it intended for discussion of policies, just so you know. But you can sit in on those sessions. The Global UA Day is going to be held on 8th of May. And so far, well, actually not so far, but we received 58 local and regional UA Day events applications. And these will be conducted between 1st March to May 30th of this year. There were 110 proposals from 62 countries that led to these 58 events to be chosen. And of course, the UA Day events will include awareness, training, academic curriculum adoption, and strategy sessions to be held regionally and alongside local organizations. The APAC DNS Forum will be on 8th and 9th. So a part of, if you go to the website, which is the URL is there, you will see that the Global UA Day kind of bleeds into the APAC DNS Forum. It's co-located, and we'll be talking more about cybersecurity, DNS operational best practices, emerging technologies, impact of regulations, legislations on the internet, and of course, the new GTLD program and WSIS Plus 20 review. Once again, my invitation to all of you to be there for these events. I'm going to close out with a couple of updates on recent initiatives by ICANN. So on January 28th, the RDAP protocol replaced WHOIS as a definitive source of registration data for GTLDs. As you possibly already know, the next round of the new GTLD program kicks off in April 2026. Leading to that, and part of our efforts to, kind of let the community know and, what's going on, we also released the first batch of case studies related to new GTLDs in December of 2024. All of that is available on our website. And then there are going to be 3 rounds of public comments on the applicant guidebook, which is expected to be ready by the end of the year. In parallel, we launched 2 initiatives. First is the applicant support program, which began on 19th November, and it's open for a year, and it's intended particularly for nonprofits to, review what the new GTLD program is. We will help them both, successful, applicants for the ASP will get a fee reduction for the initial application. And the other program that also kicked off was it's the Registry Service Provider, or the RSP evaluation program, and the pre-evaluation period is 19 November to 20th May. The whole idea behind the RSP is if you're a brand owner and you don't want to become a registry operator, you can go to accredited registry service providers when you're ready to launch your new GTLD. So all of this is coming together, but the last piece of that kind of puzzle is the applicant guidebook, which it's in the active process of public comments. So, and that's all I have to share today. Very happy to take, as Sunny said, no more than 2 questions. Oh, I need to thank you for running down the clock. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Samiran. I also thinking, that was a question of word for Akinori. Didn't realize you are the next speaker. So Akinori is going to give an update on the ASO AC. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Akinori Maemura from APNIC, and then I am a member of the ASO Others Council. I'll give you the update of the ASO AC. It's actually, what is ASO AC is, and then explaining what is that, and then the current situation. The Others Council actually had, have the activity here in the Putarinjaya. Could you stand up, ASO AC member, here in this room? We are the Others Council, so please come up to them and have a talk. Thank you very much. And unfortunately, we don't have right now any member from APNIC because the APNIC cannot trigger any appointment of the ASOAC member right now. So we are doing the 12 members from the 4 regions. What is ASOAC? ASOAC Address Council is actually, another name is the Number Resource Organization Number Council, and then the NRO is the representative body of the 5 RIR, and then MOU with the ICANN provides that NRO Number Council consists of the Address Council, so we are to have the 2 names. Then we are the Number Resource Policy Advisory Body with 15 members, but right now the 12, 3 each from each RIR region, 2 elected by the committee election, and then 1 is appointed by the RIR board. I am the appointee from the APNIC Executive Council. So what does it do? We do advise ICANN board about the global IP address policy, which is how IANA shall handle the IP resource, which is distributing to the number resource to the RIL, basically. And then overseeing the global policy development process, and we have the appointment we do the appointment of the 2 ICANN board members and then ICANN Nomcom member. We are doing a web conference monthly and then face-to-face annually, basically. Global policy development. Global policy development is facilitated by the PPFT, our subset of the Address Council, policy proposal facilitator team. It's basically consists of the one member each from the 5 RIL regions. But right now, with the absence of the APNIC member, we have the additional 1 member elected, which is from APNIC region. We have the 2 members, Mahdi and Akinori, Maemura, myself. That's 5 of us, PPFT. SOAC transparency, basically face-to-face meetings is open, but sometimes we need to do that in a closed manner. This time, because our activities are basically for the particular activity for the developing the document, it is not to be closed, opened, but we still trying to have some Q&A session in this regard. Still trying, not really fixed. So you may have the chance to give us the feedback. So we are doing the face-to-face meeting here in Putarinjaya, which is happening on a Friday and Saturday this week. And then some other, conversation and the discussion is happening here and there throughout this week. And additionally, we will have the face-to-face meeting in ICANN 83, which will be held in Prague in June. That's one point. Another point, mailing list is open for any observer from the community, which is the contact information is available in this URL. ASOAC Mount Twitter conference is open to the observers. Basically, which that is held in the first Wednesday from the noon UTC, which is here 8 p.m. It's quite good for the Asia Pacific region actually, and some other region is a little bit hard to do this. So the meeting calendar is on this URL, so please refer it. Current ASOAC appointments, we have the 2 board members appointed by us who are Alan Ballard from the APNIC region and Christian Kaufmann from the RIPE NCC region. Christian Kaufmann's term will end this year. Therefore, we are now in the process of the appointing and electing the sit-10 board member, and it is on the process. Another appointment is Louis Lee for the nomination committee for this year. And that is our regular assignment for as us to do that. But on top of that, we are now working on the revision of the Internet Coordination Policy number 2, named criteria for establishment of new regional Internet registries. And this is overviewed by the Nicole Chan after this presentation. That's it from myself. If you had any comment, I'm really happy to answer. Maybe a couple. Chef.
Thank you, Akinori. Hervé Clément, Chair of this Council this year. Thank you, Akinori, first for this complete and very clear presentation for that. Just an additional piece of information regarding transparency you talk about. So you say there could be probably the possibility to have a Q&A session during AGM 3 tomorrow after the more complete ICP2 dedicated presentation. So I can confirm there will be this Q&A possibility just after, so for the community to ask questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's really, really good supplement. And Hervé Clément, the chair of the ASOAC, will have the 20 minutes within the AGM for the, telling you about the ICP2 revision activity. And then we are now trying to have the additional Q&A time frame, but it is to be done, not yet determined. Any other questions? Determined? Tomorrow, Q&A? All right, we have it. All right, great. Thank you very much. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Jen, currently the elected NRO-NC, also the ASOAC member. Just follow the presentation of Akinori. I would like to make some more details about the ICP2 update. As you can see on this slide, what is ICP2? Prior to ICANN's founding, there are 3 RIRs, APNIC, ARIN, and the RIPE NCC. When ICANN was founded in when ICANN was founded in September 1998, its original bylaw called for 3 supporting organizations. ASO is one of them. The ASO was subsequently formed on 19 October 1999, based on the MOU proposed by the 3 RIRs and accepted by ICANN. In November 1999, ICANN requested RIRs to assist with further development of recognition criteria, which are described in the 1999 ASO MOU. After extensive discussions and several meetings, the ASOAC passed the resolution on the criteria for the establishment of new regional internet registries, which was subsequently accepted by the ICANN board. This document became International Coordination Policy, ICP2. There are currently 5 RIRs, as you already know. So ICP2 review background. In October 2023, the NROEC sought the ASOAC's assistance with 2 texts that should help strengthen the RIR system. Review draft ICP2 implementation procedures and strengthening ICP2. So the ASOAC is conducting an open and transparent process to review ICP2 that allows participation from across the global internet community. Then you can see the process. The ASOAC has adopted the following process to guide the review of ICP2. First step, review of ICP2. The ASOAC will review the existing ICP2 document for relevance and accuracy in reflecting the current operational and governance requirements of RIRs. This step has already been completed. Second step, preparation for principles. Following the review, the ASOAC will identify the core requirements for RIRs in a set of principles. The principles will be used as the foundation for drafting the ICP2. Sorry, I can. May I just found my. Okay, the principles will be used as the foundation for drafting and update ICP2. And the ASOAC will seek input and feedback from the NROEC on the principles and will present principles for community consultation. So this step has already done. The outcome is the proposed ICP2 version 2 principles document. You can find the linkage on the website of our this section. And the third steps, community input and the draft principles. The ASOAC will create a questionnaire to solicit the quantitative feedback and the qualitative feedback, allowing open-ended feedback on each principles. There are 24 principles, as well as an additional section for recommendation on additional principles and overarching feedback. So these steps has already completed. The questionnaire will be made available, has already made available through the NRO website, and ICANN has already hosted a public comment period using their established process. The open for the submission time is 8 October last year, and the close for the submission is the 6th December last year. The fourth step, review and analyze the feedback. Currently, the ASOAC has reviewing all questionnaire feedback received, focusing on both quantitative and qualitative response. And the outcome is ICANN Public Recommend Report and ICP2 Principles Questionnaire Report. These 2 reports has already published, and from NRONC has published the day before yesterday. This Monday. The fifth step, drafting the document. This is in progress. And the 6 steps, community feedback on the draft document. 7 steps, final review is upcoming, and 8 steps, approval and adoption. By following these steps, the ASOAC aims to update ICP2 in a manner that is consultative, inclusive, and transparent. So maybe you have already participated. This is the questionnaire website through the NRO, through the RR's procedure. So the proposed ICP2 version 2 principles has been published and called for feedback from the internet community. The document presented here marks the first major step in the ASO/AC's work of revising ICP2. In addition to principles on the IR governance, ecosystem, life cycle, recognition, and operation. The proposed document also provides principle for the potential derecognition of an IR if it fails to fulfill its criteria established. So thank you for your great feedback. You can check from the QR code and the linkage. This summary report has already released 24th February this year, the day before yesterday, this Monday. So through the IR's website, we have received nearly 300 responses. I think you can see from the list side, there are more than 50%. That is 51.7% response come from Asia Pacific. Thank you for your great feedback. Next steps. The ASO/AC's next steps. Review and analyze the feedback. The ASO/AC will discuss the feedback from the ICANN public comment proceeding and the questionnaire of the IR comments. This input will be used to shape the draft version of the update ICP2 document. Drafting the document, ASO/AC will develop a draft of the revised ICP2. The IR comments and ICANN consultation will be invited to provide input of this draft. So that is why currently all our ASO/AC's members are here. Then we are going to have a face-to-face meeting right after the APRICA and APNIC. Yeah, the next. There will be a official presentation during the AGM tomorrow. So please join us in our next section. So that's all my update about ICP2. Is there any question? Okay, thank you. Who will join us tomorrow? AGM3.
Oh, she said join them tomorrow at the AGM3 for the open Q&A. Thank you. I just updated the website, so it's there in the schedule now. So the next one we hear from IZOC, their update. Navid, are you here? Oh yeah, I see him there.
Good afternoon, everyone. Naveed Haq from Internet Society. So I'm going to present our 2025 action plan, which will give you a little bit of idea of our next 5-year strategy as well. So one thing that we have defined late last year is that we're going to work at a 5-year programmatic approach. So it's a 5-year approach of programs. I'll show you the details of the programs later on, but this is our first year into this 2030 strategy. So these are our 7 programs that will be working towards 2030. First one is community-centered connectivity, which is to connect the rest of the our 2 billion people which are not connected. You might have heard stories of the community who have deployed networks in remote and rural places through Internet Society funding and our mobilization. So this is the work that we'll keep on working. Our approach for next 5 years would be more of taking community-centered connectivity as a solution and see how we can actually scale it in a way that it's not us only who need to be there to deploy a network, but the community itself is empowered through local policy regulations and, of course, the support from the local stakeholders to deploy these solutions to connect the unconnected. The priorities, of course, as I said, improving and scaling our current approach towards community-centered connectivity, training people, helping them to come up with solution. As you know, Starlink is coming across the world, And we see it as an opportunity in those areas where people don't have connectivity, where Starlink could be one of the backhaul providers that can help us to deploy the last mile connectivity to remote and rural places. Of course, we'll be providing grants and advocacy for that. We have a particular program to grants where we do support up to 50,000 US dollars for one of these solutions. The current round is open till 31st of March. So if you know any community out there in a village or at a remote island that might be interested to apply and get the funds and our support to deploy such a solution, please do direct them towards us. So we look forward to at least deploy 6 of these solutions across the world and do have 25% of our chapters involved in these solutions, and of course train around 1,400 people. So we have a lot of courses that we already offer to community who want to understand how they can build and run these networks. So that's the number that we have put up as a target for this year. The affordable and reliable access, this is more of the internet exchange point work that you might know Internet Society has been doing over years and years. But moving forward, what we have decided is that we will focus more on the small island developing states and least developing countries, because we see there is a huge gap of keeping the local traffic local and bringing a faster, cheaper, and resilient internet to those users which are either residing at a least developing country or in a small island developing state. So there's already some discussion happening with some of our partners during Apricot about what we can do, perhaps in Solomon Island. Terry is looking at me. We were talking about Solomon Island yesterday. Someone from Timor-Leste came to us, because if you see these small islands, they are having a challenge of not having enough international connectivity, and even if they get international connectivity, still the traffic goes somewhere there and come back to them. So the peering ecosystem would of course help these small islands and at least developing countries to have a more better, cheaper and faster internet. For this strengthening local peering system, we also have a grant program. This year, we are giving up to 70,000 US dollars. Over the past 5 years, we have spent around 3.8 million US dollars to support the peering infrastructure across the world. So if you want to know more about those stories and how it has impacted the people there, please come to us. But yes, the grant program is open till 31st of March. I am telling people, I don't know why people are saying Naveed has a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money, but yes, I have money. So please do apply for the grant if you want to set up a new IXP or build up existing ISP. This is the success measures where we want to have at least 10 existing or 10 new IXPs supported through our funds. 20 technical communities, that's the NOG bit. As you know, we do support a lot of network operator groups as well, because we strongly believe that a strong network operator group, a strong local community is directly proportional to our strong local internet infrastructure. Then of course, 1,250 people trained, 600 ASNs representatives in our peering events. By the way, we are doing a couple of peering roadshows and a couple of peering trainings, but they would not be a standalone events. We always look for either an existing peering forum happening somewhere or an existing NOG event happening. So you would see some news coming out of PHNOG in July, APNIC in May, and then we're working with APNIC and identify what we can do in Pacific. Ideally, we would like to start a Pacific peering forum from next year onwards, hopefully. Online trust and safety, of course, that's one thing that we, in fact, most of us realize that the newly connected people are the one who have the higher risk. I've been to schools, I've been to many places, and the one question I ask from the kids is, what is internet for you? 90% of them tell me it's Google, YouTube, or Facebook. And that actually gives us a setback that, okay, so perhaps there is something missing out there where we are not being able to make the next internet user generation realize what actually internet is and what could be some of the safety and security risks associated with. So this program will try to take care of these threats for the newly connected users, where ideally we would like to run some awareness campaigns, offer some courses. Just an hour ago, someone from India came up, and that person knew about this online safety program, and then he started telling me what he's doing in India about online safety. So, of course, we cannot do everything ourselves, so we're really eagerly looking for partners and supporters who can join hands with us towards this journey of making sure that the newly connected people are safe and secure. These are our priorities on online safety and trust. So this is the success mayor. Of course, you will see a lot of me here in these photos. I don't know why Internet Society has put my photos. It's not me. I didn't ask them, honestly. But if you read our action plan, these photos are from action plan. This is Bikram Shirishta, by the way. You will see him as well. He's from Nepal. This is one of the projects that actually we did near Mount Everest, just 6 kilometers away from Mount Everest Base Camp. This is the highest community network in the world. So if any of you ever thought go to Mount Everest, please let me know. I'll love you to go and meet these Sherpa people and how internet is changing their life in Nepal. 1,200 people trained, 25% of chapter. You will see this 25% again and again because we really want our chapters, our feet on the street to be involved. And we have put a success measure so we can measure how much involvement and how much mobilization we've been able to do to our chapters. Open and trustworthy internet. This is more of a policy thing where we have been working with the governments across and trying to, advocate and talk with them to avoid any policy and regulation which can actually make internet either more fragmented or more weak. So that's something that we'll keep on doing. You might know about Global Encryption Coalition that we have been running over the past 3 years. It has been a great success where we have been joining hands not only with industry partners but also with the governments to make sure that the internet experience is more open and trustworthy in their economies. Long list of the priorities, but you can read. I can read some of them. For example, the NDSS, I don't know, of course, people from USA here might know about NDSS. This is also kind of a flagship event we've been running. The next phase is next week, actually, in San Diego, and that is where we bring a lot of academia to talk about the future of the trust and building some solutions around it. Again, a long list of the success measures of what numbers we want to achieve as a goal for 2025. But of course, this also involves a lot of policymakers, workshops, and some of the other bits with our chapters. Those of you who are going to IETF next month, please let us know because there is a IETF policy program that we are running. And one of the focus that we'll be having the discussions with the policymakers around Asia Pacific is on this particular program. Internet Insights and Innovation. This is our Pulse platform. I'm wearing this T-shirt as well. If you don't have T-shirt, please come to our booth. I think we still have some of them. So this is our Pulse platform, which is primarily a platform that brings a lot of measurements around internet. So there are measurements around internet shutdowns. There are measurements around V6, IXPs, internet infrastructure, etc., etc. Now, we do not actually collect this data ourselves, but rather we curate this data from various open source places. So our priority is to actually expand this. We have been actually running some of the internet measurements. We want to go to the economies, talk to them, and tell them how important it is to measure your internet. Because if you do not measure your internet, then you don't get data, and if you don't get data, you are not able to make an informed decision. Yes, Sunny, I'm gonna be ASAP. So this is a success made around that. Community and partner mobilization. This, of course, is more of our chapters and our community, where we would keep on offering the high quality awards program for the internet innovators or the fathers of internet or the mothers of internet, the people who started internet in a particular country. So that's continuing. Then, of course, we keep on strengthening our relationship internet technical community, including the RIRs. of course, and this, of course, have its own success measures. You won't see any events listed here because this is something that is happening now while we are planning into the first year of 2030 strategy. So you might hear know more about what actually events we're doing in next couple of months. Transformation, this is more internal, where as an organization, we want to strengthen ourselves with more impactful giving, more financial sustainability, strong ethics and governance, a data-driven decision-making, talented workforce, and powerful advocacy. Quickly go. This all is more detail about that, and that brings me to the last slide, Sunny. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Thank you, Naveed. Any questions? No? Thank you. Thanks for that interesting presentation and sharing the activities with us. Now we go into the RIR updates. So we start with LACNIC. Maria, thank you.
Hi. Well, my name is Maria. I'm the LACNIC's communications manager, and I want to give you some highlights of what is going on, what we are facing right now in our region. So as you may know, most of you know, one of our highlights right now is that we are passing through a leadership transition, which is really important for us, really relevant. Last year, Oscar Robles, he decided to step down as a CEO after almost 10 years of leadership at LACNIC. And in alignment with our succession plan, the board appointed Ernesto Majo as the new CEO, and this was effective in November last year, 2024. So this is really relevant for us because it's giving us stability and continuity to all our operational and strategic processes. The communication of this transition has been really transparent and clear for both our community and internally as well. So if you want to know more about what happened in Paraguay, that was our last event last year, you can see the video there that we have on the leadership transition session there. Another topic that is really relevant right now at LACNIC is the double factor authentication. This was 1 year ago. We detected security incidents related to LACNIC access credential. That was in February 2024. And since then, we've been working really hard with the service department, analyzing the information, and we did a user survey, in order to start implementing this with our members. It's been a very deep communication campaign in order to raise awareness to our members about the importance of enabling the double factor. So we started in May last year, and well, it's something that is going on right now. We expect our large members to have it activated by the end of March this year, and the small members by the end of this year. Another thing I wanted to highlight is the campus. We have our online training campus. We have a lot of courses there, most of them in Spanish. And well, this is this platform is growing up. We have a big amount of students this year. But what I wanted to highlight here is that we, like 3 years ago, we started having these specializations, which are like training tracks that are organized by different levels. And so people can actually go through the courses that are available in the campus, which is really relevant for us because we wanted to have like a long-term training path for the students. I mean, you can do a standalone course, of course, but we wanted to have something more in a long term. So we have these specializations, which are 3. 2 of them, the first one and the second one, ISPs and data centers, have already finished. I mean, we already have all the courses active in the campus, and students can also have a certification after the levels and all the courses. They can do an extra exam, and they can have that certification. And we will have this year the 3rd one, which is the campus one, which will be ending this year. So we will have 3 of the specializations activated by the end of the year. Another initiative that I wanted to bring here, well, we have different initiatives focusing on the different audiences that we have. We have, for instance, a leadership program, which is focused on internet governance topics, as well a program for women leadership. And something that we are really working right now, it's in applied research. But this was the last program that we launched. It's research and development ambassadors, where we selected a group of professionals to conduct research and development projects aligned with our initiatives, such as RPKI, PGP collectors, and other things that are interest for us. And so it is like a long-term program. It's almost 1 year, and they will be presenting their projects in our next event in Brazil. These were the last results of our member satisfaction survey. These are the results from November last year, and we achieved a 96% overall satisfaction rate. But what I wanted to mention about this is that although we have this high rate, we really pay attention. We really take into account all the comments and the feedback that we receive from our members. It's really important for us to give them like an effective and innovative solutions to all the problems that they have. So, well, we keep an eye on this. Is really relevant for us. As I mentioned before, we will have our next event in LACNIC 43, which will be Sao Paulo, Brazil, from May the 9th till the 5, from May 5 till 9. And this is a very special opportunity for us because it will be hosted with a brand. So we believe that it's going to be a unique experience for all operators and other members of the community in order to enhance networking. The registration is not still open. It will be in a few days. We have remote participation as well. I mean, and all the main tracks are translated. We have simultaneous translation into Spanish, Portuguese, and English. So you are more than welcome to join us. Well, I just wanted to show you who are from LACNIC. It's me from the staff, and then we have 2 board members as well, Esteban and Wagner Maya. So if you have any questions or comments about what is going on in our region, we're more than welcome to receive them. And well, just we have our blog. All our content is in 3 languages as well: English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So you're more than welcome as well to subscribe and be part of our conversation. Well, that's all. 30 seconds. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, well, it's making. Thanks.
Thank you, Maria. I have a question, Maria. Sorry. It's great to see that you're actually offering data centers courses as well. You know, it's I think probably the only RIR who is going into the data centers and next generation of internet courses. That's just a comment, but my question is regarding the R&D ambassador program. How do you select them? Do you have criteria?
Yeah, there's some requirements.
Okay.
This was the first one that we have this year.
Yeah.
So I guess we will improve it. But yeah, we have a call last year, and we select the projects that were more relevant for us. the initiatives are. But it's a long term, as I mentioned, it's a long term. They've been working for almost 1 year. They will present it in May. So we will see how it goes.
Wonderful, wonderful to see that. And I think we do need more Jeff Houstons in the community.
Thank you.
Maybe this program will help that. Thank you.
Thanks, Annie.
Next presenter is from RIPE NCC, Isham.
Over here.
Oh, this is
I'm already here. Hello, everyone. My name is Hisham Ibrahim, and I work for the RIPE NCC, and this is the RIPE NCC update. Disclosure, they haven't let me out of our region much for the past decade, so this is like my second .IR meeting, the first update that I've done. I remember these sessions were super interesting for everybody, so I'll try to live up to that and talk to you about the RIPE NCC updates. In my slides, we're focusing a little bit on the future and what we're going to be busy with, so not previous stuff. This is from the strategic objectives that we have. We have a 5-year strategy. Here are our 5 main objectives that we work towards. Our strategic plan ends 2026, which means we start a new strategic planning cycle very soon to plan from 2027 to whatever 5 years after that is, 30-something. Focus points for this year. So these are the areas, so taking from that strategy, taking to this year what we're really focusing on, you can see here in order the topics that we said are priorities for the RIPE NCC this year. Registry accuracy being one of the top, obviously the top one for us this year. Being a center for data measurements and tools being another. I have slides on all of these. Number 3, can't read from here. I'm losing my eyesight. Stability of the system, and that covers everything from the organization stability, financial, legal resilience, and all that. After that, we're looking into resilience for political changes. The world around us, there's a lot of geopolitics happening and tensions and stuff. In the RIPE NCC's service region, there are a number of wars and a lot of geopolitics, so that's obviously affecting community work, but also affecting how we operate. And last but not least, security and compliance. It is a major thing for us, also in terms of living up to our role as a registry and being accountable to the community, but also everybody that looks to us as a structure in the internet governance. So diving in a little bit more in the activities. So yes, ensuring accuracy and compliance. Like I said, that was one of the top goals that we have, the top goal that we have for this year. We have a few activities. I won't run through all of them specifically, but doing a lot of audits on the accuracy of the registry. We have some metrics to that. We have some plans of how we want to be measuring this. We also are phasing out MD5 hash passwords. For those of you that know MD5, we're sorry that it's still there. We're working on taking them out. Yeah, thank you. We, as an organization, we are looking into more compliance efforts. We're going through the ISO certifications. We had an ISA certificate audit, and we're carrying out a new one as well. And we do comply with EU sanctions, and we have a whole process for that, and we do publish quarterly reports to be transparent about how that affects our members that are sanctioned. Moving along, data was the second one on that list. So we take data from, the accurate registry that I just talked about, but also we have a number of measurement tools out there. Some of you might have met my colleague Leah or Alistair talking about RIPE Atlas. Probes, anchors around the world that we use to collect data and run measurements. We also have something called RIS that collects routing information. If you guys know route views or anything like that, it's one of those that collects historical information and keeps it for, research, insights, testing, you name it, right? And then we use all this data that we put in strategic places, so hold the targeting, the data coverage, and the precision. And we use that to produce data storytelling, to tell interesting stories about how the internet around us is functioning and working, or when it is not functioning, why it's not. And here's a couple examples that come out of that. So here's two articles that we published last year. One of them was around, there was a failure in a Baltic Sea cable that led to outages in the Baltic countries. So my colleagues dived into the data, saw how the internet routed around that, and what were the effects on the different networks. Another example of that is the internet landscape in the Middle East. So we do a number of regional meetings, one of them in the Middle East. And in this report, we talk about how the networks there build, interconnect, how resilient, exchange points, you name it. We also produce other reports about trends that we see. So these are examples of two reports that we published last year. There are others, but these are two of the ones that gained a lot of attention. The first one, how to get IP addresses for your network. We actually hired a consultancy company that went out and did a survey for within the community, understanding how people are getting IP addresses these days. We put it in a report. So this has a lot of useful information for network operators, because we do get these questions a lot. Like, you know, I'm starting my ISP or a big enterprise or something. How do I get IP addresses? This covers both IPv4 and IPv6. And same like Navid, I'll do the shameless t-shirt shout out to IPv6. Please deploy IPv6. Thank you very much. Then the other one is, like I said, more in-depth look into the Middle East and IXPs there, looking into the resiliency, looking how they're building their networks and doing more there. Strengthening the RIR, the right community and the RIR system. So as part of doing this, well, we offer also some courses. We also have an e-learning platform. We do face-to-face, in-person training and virtual training as well. We support the community with initiatives like NOGs, hackathons, outreach programs. Again, my colleague Alistair in the room there, wave Alistair. Yes, he's the person to talk to when it comes to stuff like this. You might have heard ICP2 today mentioned once or twice, right? Yes. I see half of the people in the room somewhat involved with this process. Well, you know, you heard Hervé's mention about it will be mentioned at the GM if you want more information, but obviously you heard the talk, so I won't go into too much detail there. And we also involved in things like the Internet Governance Forum that will be held this year in Oslo, the WSIS Plus 20 review. Myself is here, Joyce also in the room. If you have any questions, come talk to us. We're heavily involved with them and we'll be happy to share more information. And this is how this whole thing ties together. So I usually start from that corner over there. We build interesting data and insights, and we use that to, well, engage with the community if you go up. We build interesting training. We use that to talk to governments about what's happening. And we use all three of those to talk to governments and help try to make a difference in the world. This is how we try to make an impact there. And it all fits together quite nicely. I know I'm running out of time. Financial and legal resilience. There's a bunch of regulations that where the compliance people are looking into doing and if it applies to us or not. So they're looking into that. Looking into the banking sector. Some of our members cannot pay because of OFAC sanctions. So we're also understanding what that actually means and how we deal with that. We're establishing a legal presence in Dubai officially. That's happening as we speak. And as part of that financial resilience, we're looking into generating around 600K worth of sponsorships for our events and data services. Again, Al, wave again, please. Yes, talk to Al if you want to sponsor any of the stuff that we're doing. Ripe Labs, we have podcasts, we have a lot of interesting content there, a whole bunch of events lined up. I'll leave them on the slide, I won't read all of them, but I will give, and it's not on the slide, this was supposed to read Ripe 90 is in Lisbon. It's happening in May. I uploaded the, it is? Okay, well, this is Ripe 90. This is supposed to be the Ripe 90 slide that invites you to come to Lisbon in May. Please, if you're, please be interested and please Google it to see the exact dates and the location, everything there. And with that, thank you very much. I see nobody rushing to the mic, so thank you.
And Mike, there's one question there.
Just one question, Kevin Bloomberg.
Yes, hello, Kevin.
That kind of slide, by the way, looked like Toronto in winter. With the RIPE stats, and it's a phenomenal tool for every region to utilize. Highly, highly recommended for everybody here. Thank you.
Yeah.
I noticed you had, you were looking at top 10 ASNs to add per country or per area that you were looking at. Are you looking at changing or focusing? Was that the part of the slide, or is it status quo when it comes to how you're deploying outright stats and anchors and probes and things like that?
Yeah, no, really great question. And the answer depends on when you ask the question. I think that the top 10 were like last year's targets. We're looking into what we're doing now because it depends also on the focus. So for a while, we talked about, do we want to be closer to IXPs, for example, because there are certain measurements and interesting stuff that we can get there. So we had more targeted approach towards that at one point. I think this year, because we're very interested in cable failures and stuff, we're looking into, are we close to landing stations, and do we have enough anchors to do a full mesh measurement? So it's really depending on, okay, this is a really interesting topic. Do we have the data coverage there or not? And if not, then that's how we do our targeting. Yeah, thanks for the question, Kevin.
Thank you, Hisham.
Yeah, thank you all.
Marcus there for the ARIN update.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, as I said, I'm Michael Abiquella, General Counsel for ARIN. I'm happy to be giving the ARIN update to all of you. Wanted to thank the APNIC and Apricot communities for their hospitality. It's always so much fun and a very welcoming environment when we're here. And actually from ARIN, we have quite a few people that are attending from our staff and from our volunteer bodies. So I know, if you raise your hand if you're in the room, because I know some of them are here and some of them are outside, is that yeah, we have Hollis Kara, Director of Communications, our board chair, Bill Sanderford, our treasurer, Nancy Carter, two members of our AC, Vice Chair, Matthew Wilder, and Leif Sawyer, who's back there. And then, of course, because they're doing a lot of work with ICP2, our NRONC members with Nick Nugent, Kevin Bloomberg, who you just heard from, and Amy Potter. So ARIN's mission is focused with three different areas, mainly. It's really the management of our internet number resources in our service region, coordinating our policy development process, as well as advancing the internet through our informational and educational outreach. Just a quick update on some of our organizational priorities for the upcoming year. We continue to educate our community about the multi-stakeholder model for internet governance. Of course, we're promoting IPv6 adoption. We continue to develop and advance our routing security services, our RPKI and IRR. We continue to engage with our community through events throughout the region, including our 2 public policy and members meetings. So we will be in Charlotte, North Carolina in April and Arlington, Texas in October. And we continue to look to create value for our customers through various programs, training materials, and educational outreach. So this is just a quick overview of our service region. And as you can see, we have US, Canada, parts of the Caribbean, North Atlantic Islands. And I always give our team a little dig because I always say we have Antarctica as well, but we never actually say it or show it on there. So, and we're going to go through 4 areas for our organizational updates. And then looking to our membership. So we have 24,384 service members. We have 1,664 general members. The difference is that our service members are those entities that have engaged ARIN with a registration service agreement for their internet number resources. And essentially by doing so, they have access to our full suite of services. However, with our general members, those are the service members who have actually expressed an intent to participate in the governance of ARIN, mainly through participating in our elections. So with that, they get exclusive access to our general members mailing list. And also, in order to maintain that status, they have to have voted in one of our ARIN elections at least once in the past 3 years. And here's a statistical view just for the member resource holdings and where we stand. 5.9% of our members have just IPv6 holdings. We have 42.1% that hold just IPv4. 28.3% hold both v4 and v6. And then we also have 23.7% that have just ASNs. And we're happy to say that we've completed a few of our RPKI services in 2024. Throughout the past couple of years, we've really been looking to integrate IRR and RPKI, and this has culminated in the release recently of the Sync Up tool, the Auto Manager, which really helps kind of the reconciliation of creation of IRR objects when putting ROAs through our RPKI services. And then we continue to update our API to have better usability. All right, so I mentioned that we have two members of our advisory council here at the meeting with Matthew Wilder and Leif Sawyer. They are part of our advisory council that really helps manage our policy development process. In this past year, we had 10 new policy proposals, 5 of them in draft, 3 were adopted, and 2 were abandoned. So I won't go and read through all of these, but these are the ones that the AC is currently working on. They're in draft policy form, so one thing to note is that in our upcoming meeting, we don't have any policies that are in our recommended draft policy status. They're all just in their draft policy status right now. But if you have any questions about what the work that's going on there, I really highly recommend you reach out to our AC members I hear. They'd be happy to go over that, talk about it, give you some explanation both of our policy development process as well as the current pending policies. Now we have 4 pending implementation for policies that these are the ones that the ARIN board has already adopted, and these are in the process of being implemented, which means we're working on documentation, updating the number resource policy manual, training our staff for any kind of changes that we would have to do within our procedures. All right, one thing that we're very proud of is that we made a contribution towards the end of 2024 to the IETF endowment. So back in 2016, the ARIN board had, approved the contribution of $2 million US to the IETF endowment. That was going to be done in 2 phases. The first $1 million contribution was done back in 2016, and then we did another one in November 2024 that coincided with the IETF that was in Dublin. All right, and in community programs, we try to still engage with our community and provide some service and value through a couple of things that we've done. We have our ARIN Qualified Facilitator Program, which is a service that we provide in the hopes of helping those organizations that perhaps are seeking IPv4 resources or seeking the transfer of their internet number resources. We have our ARIN Premier Support Plan, and this is an offering that our members can elect to do, where if they need engaged services, a little bit higher level of service with dedicated analysts, access to our technical services liaison, and even having a feedback mechanism. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. We'll go back here real quick. So, fellowship program. This is something also that we're very proud of that we offer to our community where people can apply for fellowships. And this is for individuals that perhaps want to be a little bit more involved, to learn more about ARIN, about our governance, to be really kind of an avenue to get more involved in our community. And we're proud to say that a bunch of our fellows have actually gone on to be advisory council members and even board members. And then lastly, we have the ARIN Community Grant Program. We'll be opening applications for this in April, but this is something that our Board of Trustees has also approved for us to do, which is to be able to provide financial grants to projects and efforts that are meant to kind of improve the internet overall, and that especially within the ARIN community. So as I mentioned before, in April, we'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina. It'll kick off with an RPKI Deploy-a-thon on Sunday, the 27th of April. We, of course, invite all of you to attend. I know it's not exactly the closest location from here, but hopefully, even if you can't attend physically, we do have a robust online participation, and we hope you will all do that. And that's it for me. And I'll be around if you have any questions, too, as well. Okay.
Thank you. Michael? Thank you, Michael. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone here from APNIC, but they kindly provided a video presentation and update. So please take time to watch it. Do we have that live? Thank you. It's Willy Manga. Yeah, you can see the name there.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Willy Manga, working for APNIC as a deployment ops engineer. Today, I will present you several updates regarding APNIC on 2024. APNIC is the 5th regional internet registry, and we cover 56 economies in Africa and Indian Ocean. And we provide these services by 43 staff. The current status of APNIC is, as you can see, we don't have a correct board and no CEO, and we have 24 ongoing legal cases. For your information, an official receiver was appointed and terminated by the court order on 12 February 2025. A new receiver has been appointed. Nevertheless, we continue to capture and bring value to our members. We have the services that we provide to our members. We continue to also improve infrastructure, and we build also the internet community. Regarding the growth in 2024, we continue to have new members. In 2024, we got 132 new resource members, meaning that as at end of December 2024, we had more than 2,300 new members. For our members, we continue to allocate and assign resources, more than 216,000 IPv4 addresses distributed, 142 ASN, and we provide support to our members through our tickets. And in 2024, we handle more than 45,000 support tickets with a SLC of 88%, meaning that within 48 hours, we're able to at least get in touch with our members and provide them an assistance. Regarding the adoption of our service, here I will talk about mostly RPKI and IRR. From out of our 2,300 members, more than 700 of them are using RPKI to issue a ROA. And last year, 11,000 ROA has been issued. Regarding the IRR database, 1,767 members are using the IRR database. It means they were able to either create or update the Route 6 object AS set in our database. We have a few IPv4 addresses left, but this one is not a surprise for anyone. As you remember, the soft landing were reached on 2020. And from APNIC, as per the current policy, you can got a maximum of 1/22 in IPv4 and a minimum of 1/24 on IPv4. In the pool, in December 2024, we had 1 million IPv4 address left. As part of the capacity building achievement in 2024, we had 8 courses in English on our e-learning platform, 7 courses in French, and they were attended by at least people from 85 countries, and a course completion of more than 7,000. You can find all the resources available on apnic.academy. We have a certification program for IPv6 with 2 tracks, silver and gold. In 2024, 71 people took the test, and they were from 41 countries. You have all the information regarding 36 on 36.io. For the Deployment Ops program, where we assist our members on anything related to IPv6, RPKI, and IRR, in 2024, we provide support to at least 40 network operators from 38 countries, and they were able to attain 61 deployment KPI, meaning that they at least achieve one goal on IPv6. It can be advertiser IPv6 prefix, get IPv6 on the core, or even sometimes also deploy one IPv6 to one customer. As part of the policy development process, we have 3 policies awaiting ratification from the board, by the board. We have one policy that is currently being implemented. That is the RPKI AS0 policy. We have one policy at the final stage, that's the IPv6 policy implementation. And we have actually at the moment, as of December 2024, 969 subscribers, so meaning people subscribe into the main list related to the policy discussion. In 2024, we delivered 10 webinars and they were attended by 1,051 attendees. If you want to review any previous webinar, you can go to APNIC YouTube channel. You also have the short link here that you can use. We have on our blog 12 articles published, eight of them from external authors. We thank again all the external authors for their contribution. As part of the engagement, we have 18 government and policy engagement on digital transformation. We made one contribution to the 20 years review of WISIS, that as part of the ITU activities. We had 5 cooperation on internet development project in Africa. We continue to update our contacts, the APNIC members contact. Last year, we managed to update 876 contacts from our members, and this is an ongoing activity. For the critical infrastructure, we continue to strengthen them and also improve. So we have an availability of 99%, and we continue to also improve and update all the layers of the infrastructure, from the physical one to the software at the software level. And last year, we managed to bring the WUIs and AirDAP onto IXP, and this is an ongoing activity. And for the AirDAP part, it's now 10 times faster than that was in the past. So that's all for APNIC update. We thank you. And if you have any question, you have different means to contact us through our official channel. Thank you.
Just for the record, thank you, Willie, for providing the video. We're almost there. Just the last presentation. Oh, sorry. He's not online.
It's no, but just
for the record. Okay.
It's a message I wanted to share. So avec Clément, this time with my Orange employee at Orange has affiliates in the African continent, and I just wanted to thank the APNIC staff for their constant support to the members in the continent. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Harvey. Whoever is monitoring the chat, please let them know that it's Harvey Clement, ASOAC member. GGM, yes, DNSSEC signing report.
So I have the unenvious task of being the last slot between you and lunch. I will try to do this fairly quickly. Yep, let's go. So I'm here as a trusted community representative, or TCR, in the DNSSEC signing process. I literally only just started this activity at the end of last year. It's my first time in the role, and part of the role is doing things in this machine room you can see on the slide. But the real part of the job is actually standing here and talking to you. That's why we're there. This thing has actually been going on for a long time, 15 years since 2010. A lot of people did it for a really long continuous period. This year, Carlos Martinez from LACNIC and Joao Damas, who works for APNIC in Europe, Fred Neves from Registro BR, they all ended their terms. And I actually can take this role because these guys decided to move on to do other things and made space for a number of people like me who are in a queue to step up and take a role. I don't think I'll work as long as they did on this. They were really amazingly committed to delivering this, 15 years. So the process here is that to sign the root of the DNS, 2 absolutely identical facilities are operated, one on the west coast of America and one on the east. And each of them are used basically twice a year to perform operations that allow VeriSign, the delegate, to actually use these signed materials to produce the reliable, verifiable, cryptographically signed state of the DNS. So it's very mechanistic. You can see on the slide that it's a highly secured facility. We're actually encouraged to put all our PCs, all our phones down, stay offline. We're running through a check sheet, and it is micromanaged to the nth degree. You know, the master of ceremonies will say, at this stage, George will now go to the safe, open cupboard 5, remove a sealed bag, and bring it to the desk. And everyone watches George doing this, and then they say, did he do it right? You actually have to hold the bag up to a video camera in the corner so that the barcode on the bag can be read into the record. And at the end of the ceremony, we have a talk down session where people will say, oh, you didn't hold that close enough for the barcode to be read. We have to make the instructions say the bag is to be held no less than 5 inches away from the video camera for 30 seconds to ensure the record can see the code number. And they change the run sheet. So the work here demands a quorum of people to be present. And the TCRs, people like me, we are part of that quorum. The whole point is that the process here should be seen to be done. It's not enough that the guys reliably turn the keys and produce the signing. The point is to do it in public so that I can stand here and say to you, in all honesty, I sat in this machine room for a day. I didn't play games on my PC. No Minesweeper was played for 12 hours. I watched the ceremony take place. I participated. I was inducted into the process. We monitored each other and we kept eye on what was being done. And we feel very confident. Absolutely nothing happened. And that's the message that we want to give. Nothing unusual happened. You should continue to have trust in the root of the DNS because we make sure that that signature process is run properly. And that's really all I'm here to say. The ICANN guys, the ICANN is delegating this function through the IANA function to do this for community benefit. And they are really, really committed to delivering this outcome. They work so hard to make this as visibly trustable as they can. If you really want to know more about the process, please go to the URL on the slide. You can watch the whole all-day exercise on the video. You can see all the scripted materials. You can see my very shaky signature when I signed into this and got inducted. I would also like to recommend that if you live in the Asia Pacific region, please think about joining the pool of volunteers. We are actually underrepresented. We have someone from China. We have someone from Sri Lanka. Amanti Alvaran from the Philippines recently joined, and I have joined. And really 4 people out of the community in a process like this, we are a little underrepresented, and it would be nice to have more community representatives. Also, I hope to be saying mostly the same thing every year. I want to come back and remind you that we're doing this and we're building a trustable DNS space on your behalf. If you'd like to talk about it with me, please do so. That's it. Thank you. Lunchtime.
Thank you, Gigi. We still have 2 minutes. So thanks all the speakers and all of you here, participating in the session. So that's the end of Global Reports. But we have lunch now, and then afterwards, we resume at 2:30 for the NIR-SIG. That's the National Internet Registries of APNIC, their reports. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch.